Welcome to the SGA Sports Talk channel. My name is Shardo. I would like to welcome my special guest Bashar from 49er Minded to the stream.
What's up, Shardo? How you doing?
Hey Bashar, how you doing?
Wonderful, fantastic.
It's great to have. It's great to have you having a one-on-one show with me.
Yeah, man. Where are you? I don't see you on camera, man. There you are.
I'm honored to.
There you go. So the rock star, the Bollywood star, right there.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions about the 49ers? About tomorrow's game against the Packers?
Oh, first, I just want to say I'm honored to be on here as a guest. I've been on doing my YouTube stream since July. Have had all kinds of guests, all kinds of different YouTubers. I had every now and then I do a Golden State Warriors show. I had the Santa Cruz Warriors announcer on there, Kevin Dana. This coming Tuesday, I have a big announcement. We're gonna have none other than former 49ers linebacker number 55, Jamie Winborn, who we drafted in the year 2000, played from 2000 to 2005. I'm really hyped up about having him on a guest. The first time I'm going to have a former 49ers player on as a guest. So definitely I'm hyped up and I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. And in just a second, I just wanted to drop the link to my channel in the chat because I noticed you didn't put it in the description of the video, and I wanted to make sure that I drop it in here before we get started really quick. Just a second, all right? Hang on. And I know you're gonna come at me with all the questions, so I'm gonna be ready in just a second for you to hit me up with all those hot takes and all those Chardall questions. Let me just drop it. Can I drop it in the chat here? Hang on just a second. Give me just a second. Hang on. Let me drop it in here. Just a moment. There you go. Subscribe to just a second. Let's go. So what's up, man? How you feeling, Chardall?
So how many yards do you think Jimmy G's gonna throw for in tomorrow's game against Green Bay?
How many yards? Say at least 200. I'd say maybe 240. At least 200, between 200 and 240. It's hard for me to put an exact number, but I don't see him throwing for 300, put it that way. Primarily because I see us trying to win this game on the ground. Green Bay doesn't have a strong run defense, and even though we're going to be out several running backs, we got a lot of injuries on this team, but I still do have faith in our run game because our run blocking from the offensive line is excellent. It's top-notch.
Which players have really impressed you in the 40? Which players have really impressed you about from the 49ers?
Okay, anybody in general, you mean?
Like,
obviously Debo right out the bat, just saying, hey, look at me. I'm not the guy that everybody's saying, hey, he's only a number 2 receiver or he's barely a number 1 receiver. No, he's saying, look at me. I'm number 1 wide receiver material. That's what Debo's saying. Who else, though? Who else is kind of surprising me? I wouldn't say he's surprising me, but I would say McGlinchey is stepping up to the plate, basically, because I was telling people, like, look, man, McGlinchey had a terrible season last year, primarily because he put himself in a bad position by dropping way too much weight. When you're starting tackle, especially right tackle in the NFL, and you're playing at a proper weight, and then all of a sudden the following season you drop about 40 to 50 pounds, that's going to damage your quality of play. I don't care who you are. So McGlinchey put the weight on in the offseason. He worked out, and he got stronger, and so far so good. So far he looks better. Jimmy hasn't been sacked yet. Not that McGlinchey's perfect in the pass blocking game, but so far he looks pretty good, and he's, with McGlinchey, his run blocking is grade A. It's top notch. Oh, look what we have here.
Yo, what's up,
What's
CG?
up, man?
What's up, CG?
What's up with it, man? Sorry,
Yeah,
it's just too dark. It's too dark out here.
Thanks for joining the stream, man.
No problem, man. Just usually I catch in people's streams late, man. Usually I do a little bit of extra work. So,
Hey,
were you talking about which player was surprised by everybody else? That I think
Yeah.
nobody expected D Ford to produce. Let's be honest. We would have been lucky just to have him play on the field. So, people forget about D Ford. They thought he was going to retire, right? He has kind of contributed still. Just the fact that we're getting him to contribute and actually produce a little bit is a huge plus. So I think that having a healthy D4 does kind of give us a better pass rush.
So what are the 49ers going to do about injuries? Because injuries are becoming
Just
a big deal for the team, man. A lot of players are getting injured.
we're just gonna have to keep on looking for guys who fit our system and be able to fit in just well. I mean, I know the injuries have been like the issues. It's been going on since we moved to Santa Clara on that facility. I mean, even though when we had that stadium, it's been an issue, but it's either the trainers it's either the trainers are not doing their job right, or it's either Shanahan doesn't know who he's gonna sign because these guys can never stay healthy. So it's like they got to get rid of that BS, that injury stuff, man. Like there's
Hey,
been talks about other players that don't want to be there because of the turf out there.
hey, Bashar, what's your thoughts of Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa looks excellent so far. Those are my thoughts on him. I'm expecting Nick Bosa to get. If Nick Bosa doesn't get 4 sacks tomorrow, assuming he's playing against the second or third string tackle on the Green Bay Packers, I'm assuming that that's an L for Bosa because Bosa should literally get about 3 to 4 sacks tomorrow easily. If he's not
Well,
assuming, because he's not going to be playing against Bakhtiari, and Bakhtiari's a stud. He's playing against either the second string guy or the third
Billy
string guy.
Turner, third string guy, because I looked up the injury report from one of the Packer fans, and they just told me that that second string guy is going to be ruled out. So they're probably going to lean towards Turner at tackle. So I think for Bosa, he should be able to get at least 5 sacks, man. 5 sacks should be a win-win for him.
Bashar, what things do you really like to would you really like to see from Nick Bosa this season?
What I would like to see from him this season, just to stay healthy. As long as he's healthy out there on the field, I think he's going to wreak havoc. He's going to get to the quarterback. He's going to command the double team. He's going to make it easier for the guys next to him, Kinlaw, DJ Jones, Kerr, whoever's next to him is going to eat and succeed because Bosa's a force, man. You know, he may not be the biggest guy out there, but he's relentless.
Um,
Yeah.
so uh, so CG, what are your thoughts of bringing of Elijah Mitchell?
What's my thoughts of Elijah Mitchell? Like we're talking first 2 games, he's kind of showed some good flashes here and there. So it's like I like his performance. I like what he's doing. I'm impressed by him. But is it like I really do think he's kind of like that replacement for Mostert? Like Mostert's going to be gone next year. Let's be honest. I'd be surprised if we bring him back next year. So I expect Mitchell to be that guy to replace him.
So my other question is that what are your thoughts of Joe Staley covering the 49ers on NBC Sportsnet Bay Area?
Oh, great personality guy. What's there to complain about? This guy fits perfect. Like
He kind of reminds me of CG.
Dude, what is it with the Joe Staley look, bro? I swear. The Joe Show. No, he's
The Joe Show. The Joe Show.
We're gonna make some dumb jokes in here.
Gonna tell some funny jokes to some teammates.
Yeah, remember the one with him and Mike Robinson would compete over each other on
Chardal, that Bollywood actor look, man. You look like Amitabh Bachchan.
Hey, did you check out the Keith Lewis interview, Chardal? Was that kind of funny?
It was kind of funny. I didn't check it out.
Yeah, remember what you said, minded that it was kind of golden because he was stoned and high and doing the interview at his business restaurant or something like that.
My other question is that do you think the Green Bay Packers and 49ers game, do you think it's going to be a close game or a blowout?
Here's one thing that can come down to it. Which Green Bay team's going to show up? That's the question. It's not being overconfident, but if we can get to Rodgers and pressure him all day, I can see it come down to a blowout, but I'm not getting overconfident about it. It depends on which Green Bay team's going to show up first.
So
I know for a fact we have to stop the run, and stopping Aaron Jones is going to be the key part because if we don't stop Aaron Jones, they're going to start moving the chains more, and they're going to start opening up the passing game more for Devontae Adams, and we don't want that. So we got to be able to slow down Aaron Jones.
Bashar, what are the ways that hey Bashar, I think you're muted.
I'm here. I'm here. What's up?
Hey, how are the 49ers going to stop Aaron Rodgers tomorrow?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is a player that you don't really stop. I mean, we were fortunate in that NFC Championship game to limit Aaron Rodgers and stop him for a good portion of the game. But towards the end of the game, he started firing again. With our squad, I mean, we're facing Devontae Adams, who we're short on cornerbacks. It sucks. I mentioned Bosa, and I'm going to keep mentioning Bosa. We have to get to the QB. It's very important. Whether it's Bosa getting to the QB, whether it's D Ford, whether it's Samson Mibukam, Sosa, whether it's Arden Key, whether it's the guys up the middle, DJ Jones, Zach Kerr, if Kinlaw plays, who knows, man. We could blitz with Warner, perhaps. We have to put that heat on Aaron Rodgers because he's going to – what we saw from Jalen Hurts challenging our corners last week, expect to see more of that this Sunday, without a doubt.
Yeah, more of those.
It does scare me. It does worry me.
Yeah, more of those. Yeah, more of those deep passes will be the scary part because Rodgers can throw in the deep passes and he can really make our DBs struggle. Like even on those snap plays, like those or whatever that snap plays he does, like it can be like a free play and he can just deliver for a free pass, bro. That's one thing that makes Rodgers really good is his anticipation and his awareness, bro. His decision making is really good. But when it comes down to him throwing those deep balls, man, that's the scary part, man. That's what I hate about playing against Rodgers, bro. He's very poised, he's very clutch. But if you can contain this guy and pressure him like we did before, then you're not going to get the best Rodgers. You're going to get the one that's pissed off and whining at the sideline and say, "Why the hell are we screwing up the damn play? Why are we doing this shit?"
Hey, Bashar, my other questions for you is that do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's going to light it up on Sunday night at Levi's?
I don't think Jimmy G's going to ball out, per se, but I think he'll do okay. I think what you'll expect to see with Jimmy G is this. He's not going to air it out and throw the crazy deep pass that we want to see our quarterbacks do. He might throw one if we're lucky, but if anything, how we saw that Debo slant last week, where Debo turned it up the field and ran for hell yards, I expect to see him do the same with Ayuk. I expect to see Ayuk get whole lot more involved. I expect to see Sherfield get involved some way. I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, not sure where house. Well, Sherfield's a pretty good route runner actually in short space, so I can see him getting involved. Other than because I know he likes to run the deep route, but I can still see Sherfield involved even though it's not a deep pass per se. Definitely want to see more of Kittle without a doubt. This 4 catches for 17 yards is not going to cut it. I'm not putting all the blame on Kittle because I know Jimmy doesn't like to throw it downfield that much, but. In any case, Kittle's been Jimmy's bread and butter for quite some time. So, I mean, it's almost a gimme that we're going to see it tomorrow. And if we don't see it tomorrow, we're going to see it for the rest of the season. We have to see it tomorrow, though. It's just a home opener. Kittle shows up to those night games, those big games. We got to see it.
And the problem with that is Jimmy hasn't really been throwing much of those targets to other people except Deebo Samuel. That's about it. That's been his go-to guy. Like, I can see why Ayuk's production's kind of slipping down because of the fact that Jimmy's not even throwing his direction as much. Like, what the heck? Like, you kind of like wonder, like, what is it with Ayuk not getting much targets, man? You got to get this guy involved. Sherfield, he's gonna give you some good route running. He's gonna be like more of a sure catcher, but then I like the fact they did sprinkle some plays and put in Jennings into the play, which he does good in the red zone, but he kind of made that good, spectacular catch.
Yeah, I like Jennings a lot. I know you call him Jaquan Jennings, even though it's Jaquan Jennings. I meant, did you stop doing that?
I got it all mixed up with it, man. I don't know. Jaquan Jennings, still the same
you
thing.
Say tomato, I say tomato.
Tomato. Yeah. Hey, man, so hey, Bayer Baller, you're going to go into the stream, man. Hey, local 49er fan, get into the damn stream, dude. I don't even see you go on my stream, man. You joined the John Jay Club, man. Join the CG Club, too, man. Come on. Everybody join the CG Club.
Hey,
everybody wants.
Hey, what are your thoughts with Trent Sherfield?
I like him. If you saw that, was it that touchdown that he got from he caught from Lance in week 1 against the Lions?
It was a nice catch.
He ran this way, and then he shook the DB, and then went the complete opposite direction. Stopped on time, went the complete opposite direction, and he
Gets
was
those
wide.
cuts.
He was wide open, and it was in short space. It wasn't a deep route like what we saw in the preseason. So
No,
he looks
short
like
cut.
he's a pretty accomplished route runner. And I didn't know this, but Larry Fitzgerald mentored him in Arizona. And supposedly
He approved it.
Larry Fitzgerald was pretty bummed out that he left the Arizona Cardinals. So their loss is our gain.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the thing that makes Sherfield really outstanding is the fact that he can do those cuts too, and he kind of gets the DBs a little off guard a little bit. And then, like when you look at Sherfield, he can really run some good routes, and I've been impressed by him. I would have thought, hey, this guy would have been lucky to make it as a special teamers, but he's kind of made that strong case to at least get some targets and all that stuff. So that's a good problem to have, you know.
I don't know if you have this question lined up for us, Chardal, but I'm just gonna throw it out there really quick. I think this is the game that we see Trey Lance get significant reps. Not like what we saw in Detroit, and obviously Philly, he didn't step on the field, but he's not going to be playing in a hostile environment. It's going to be the home crowd, home opener. Crowd's going to be fired up. Expect to see Trey Lance in there, and expect him to air out the ball every now and then. That's what I feel in my heart. So hopefully I'm right.
Well, I can
Hey,
see.
so CG, so what have you seen in Trey Lance this year that just show that he's just such an amazing quarterback?
Well, his deep arm talent is off the chain. It's a lot better than Jimmy right now, but like he just needs to work on his accuracy. As soon as he kind of masters that accuracy better, this guy's going to be a dangerous playmaker. Like it's kind of exactly similar to what Josh Allen had. It took Josh Allen a couple years to master up the accuracy better. And the thing that I like about Trey Lance is he can really throw that deep ball, dude. He can throw that deep ball. It's like, wow, bro. Like he does it with ease, bro. Jimmy can't even throw a deep ball like that, dude. It's like you watch Trey Lance, he can move quicker. He's a lot faster than Jimmy, and he can really open up your playbook. And what I mean by open up the playbook is we can do a lot of these play action deep passes and all the other stuff. And the thing with Jimmy G is we're very limited. You know, it's only going to be dink and dunk passes here and there. You're not going to get Jimmy G throwing deep balls all the time, man. That's the only downside of it. But when you get Trey Lance, you're going to go for those deep passes just like Mahomes does, you know?
CG, so my other question is that do you think it's going to be an electric type of environment when the 49ers come in to play Green Bay, come into Levi's?
To answer your question, I hope so. I hope the fans get so excited. I hope they scream and say, Packers suck, Niners rule, run over them. You know, I want to hear that I want to hear that let's go Niners and Packers suck.
Hey, CG, so do you think it'll be really exciting if fans get really into it and say like, we don't want you here, Green Bay, get out of here, Green Bay, we don't want you here, like, we don't want people like you here. We're the Niner fan base, man. We don't want anything associated with Green Bay. Like, get out of here, Green Bay. Like, we don't want to be associated with you, with your team, man. Like, we don't want to. I mean, we don't
This
want to
guy's
associate
funny,
with
man.
Aaron. We don't want to associate ourselves with Aaron Rodgers, man. He's like probably the worst quarterback ever. Jimmy G and Trey Lance are two of the best quarterbacks on the Niners right now. Aaron Rodgers sucks.
Can we tell those people in the Bay Area not to go with Tom Brady either because those Tom
I
Brady fanboys are nothing but LeBron
I
fanboys, man.
hate I
Yeah.
hate those Green Bay Packers, man. I hate those
I
damn.
hate those Tom. I hate those Tom Brady fanboys. They're starting to be like LeBron James fanboys, man.
I
I
hate
can't
those.
stand them.
I hate those damn cheeseheads.
Ah, man. So what happens if you wear a cheesehead, man? It's kind of weird. What's worse, or wearing a watermelon or wearing a cheesehead? Which is worse?
I think wearing a cheesehead is okay. Wearing a watermelon is kind of weird.
The Rams, bro. The Rams are weird. Who wears
Yeah,
watermelon?
who wears a
Okay,
watermelon on
so
their head?
okay, but if you had to pick the worst, you would say the watermelon's worse than the cheesehead. Okay.
Yeah, the cheesehead's kind of all right, but the watermelon's kind of a little weird. I don't want to wear cheese. I don't want to wear watermelon on my head.
So what's your thought, Bashar? Which is worser? We're in a watermelon or we're in a cheesehead?
What's worse?
Worser. Welcome to the jungle. Gets worser every day. We're in a cheesehead. A watermelon's worse than, and they both look stupid, but that watermelon crap is stupid. But when I see a cheesehead, I feel like punching them right in their cheesehead. I feel like freaking just unloading on that cheese, man.
I don't like the cheese head.
Go home, Packer fans.
We don't
Okay,
want
okay, okay,
we don't want
okay.
you
Let me
here.
ask you. Let me ask you a question, Chardell. Since you got your own show, all right. Let me ask you a simplest question, man. Who do you want to see score a touchdown on the first on the first drive or whatever happens on the play? Who you want to see get a touchdown that hasn't got a touchdown this season?
I want to see George Kittle get a touch on the opening
There
play.
you go, man. I like that answer. I want to see that guy get a touchdown. I want to see a
George
celebration.
Kittle, catch me up the middle.
Yeah, catch me at the middle, touchdown, and then do that wrestling little celebration. I want to see that.
It's a song
that's a
called
good-
George Kittle by Travis King. Look it up on YouTube. He goes, I'm George Kittle, catch me up the middle. George Kittle, catch me up the middle. Hit me down the middle.
Yeah, they should even do like one with George of the Jungle for him.
He kind of does that
Hey,
little gorilla
hey.
thing when he pounds his chest.
ACG.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I would really love to see? I would really
Yeah.
love to see George Kittle pancake somebody.
He did it last
Oh, yeah.
week.
He did it to the Eagles linebacker.
Oh, he pancakes George
He
Kittle
celebrates and laughs when he pancakes
He
players.
pancakes
Oh
somebody.
yeah, and he does a no fear sign too. When he gets a first down, he does that zero. Zero.
Hey, that's I want to shout out to Gavin. That's Pentagon Junior.
Pentagon the Junior.
Sure.
I like him, except that WWE doesn't like him because he's too violent. He's kind of banned from that wrestling brand, but in other promotions, he's allowed to go there.
Hey, Bashar, what's
Well,
going to be
they,
your
they, they let Lesnar go there.
Hey, Bashar, what's going to be your score prediction for the Packers game?
My score prediction for the Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium for the home opener is 31-20.
ACG, my score prediction for the Green Bay Packers versus 49ers game is going to be 28-25 San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, that's a good prediction.
What about you?
All right, you want to hear my? Okay, my prediction. I got this score. I got the 49ers scoring 31 points. The Packers, I expect them to at least score about like in between the 20 points, but I'll give them 24 points. So I'll go Niners 31. Packers 24. I expect Green Bay at least to play a decent game. I'm not going to underestimate them. Rodgers is Rodgers, and we're probably going to have to close out games, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I'll take the approach the way how 49ers first takes was saying. You know?
Bashar,
can't get too ahead of yourself.
If the 49ers beat the Packers on Sunday night, who do you think the three top stars of the game will be?
If I think Bosa would be the main star on defense, without a doubt, if we win. Another top star, I'd say. I think Kittle. I think this is going to be Kittle's game to be a star in, and I also think that probably Sermon. Let's say Kittle, Sermon, and Bosa. How about that?
ACG, my question to you is that if the 49ers beat the Packers on Sunday night, who do you think who are your top three players of the game?
Well, since Bashar put it in that way, I'll just mix it up randomly. I'm gonna go with Fred Warner on defense. He'll probably have a good performance. He'll probably even have an interception, maybe a sack, and maybe like 10 plus tackles. Let's see. On offense, I'm gonna have to go with Debo. He's gonna be on a roll. Yeah, and the next player that comes to mind, this may be the one that people don't even like, but I want to go on a limb and say Jimmy G.
Hey, Bashar, my question to you is that if you would put 5 current 49er players on Mount Rushmore, who would they be?
You're muted. You're muted.
Hey,
Oh,
Bashar,
okay, I
can
was
you mute?
laughing. Okay, it's all good. My bad. I always mute myself because I always want to have you guys talk, and then I don't want my background noise getting in the way. So, okay, so we got Kittle, obviously, easily on that Mount Rushmore. We have Bosa, obviously. We got Fred Warner, arguably the best linebacker in the NFL. And after that, it's tough. Trent Williams, best freaking left tackle in the league, from what a lot of people say. That leaves one more spot. Who else do we have? It's got to be somebody that would compete for the best at what they do at that particular position.
Use
Which
check.
is the problem is we don't use check enough for him to be a significant factor on our team. He's very good at what he does, but it's like, how often do we use the guy? For me, it's a toss up between Debo and Ayuk. Honestly, I thought Ayuk was better than Debo last year. I thought Ayuk was our best wide receiver easily. Even though Debo's very good, but Debo, they said, stepped up a lot in camp. They said expect him to have a big year. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out during the season. You hit me with a hard question though. I wasn't really prepared for that one though.
Hey, CG, what are your what if you had 5 current 49ers players you would put on Mount Rushmore? Who would they be?
George Kittle will be number one. If we're going by the greatest of all time, but I wouldn't consider him like a Mount Rushmore. He would be a Washington Redskin Mount Rushmore. So in no way. So he has to have a Super Bowl and have a longevity with us. So I
Well,
can't
we don't have
consider
anybody
him.
with the Super Bowl.
No. But I'm saying like if until he wins a Super Bowl, then he could be considered a Niner legend. So I can't consider him in that list, but he's a current player. But
But think
I'm
about all
going
the
by
current players. Who do we have currently? I mean, forget where they played in
okay.
the past.
Okay, well we got. Well, I did say Kiddo and Fred Warner.
Mm.
Bosa, if he plays healthy and plays consistently, I can see him up there. Um, as far as like other players, you got Debo, which I'll put him up there if he keeps playing consistently and stays healthy. So that's what is it, three? What is it, 3 or 4? Um, I know that I know you would say fullbacks don't get much recognition and it's underappreciated, but he is as best at his position. So you got to put Juszczyk up there. So that would be Juszczyk, and then the last player, the Mount Rushmore at that position. I mean, as much as I hate to say this, but you need some guys who can play interior or who can play versatile, and you need some guys like that that can play at a high level. But he's been there the longest, so I guess you got to go with Jimmy Ward as your But I wouldn't say he's the greatest. I would just say because he kind of plays versatile. He's been around the team longer. He's been a leader, so you got to put him up there.
Bashar, my question to you is that if George Kittle wasn't playing football, which other sport would you really like to see George Kittle play?
My first thought would be baseball, but now I'm thinking basketball because basketball, you got the physical aspect involved in basketball. Now I'm talking real sports, but if we just say all sports, including sports entertainment, I definitely easily see George Kittle as a pro wrestler. He'd probably put together some killer promos. He'd probably be a beast on the microphone as well as a beast in the ring. He's athletic as can be, and Kittle will probably get me back to watching wrestling. How about that?
Hey, CG, my question to you is that if George Kittle wasn't playing football, which other sport would you really like to see him play?
Well, this is pretty simple, man. He's a wrestling fanatic. He really likes wrestling, so I can see him as a good fit with pro wrestling because his personality and the fact that, like, okay, if he wasn't gonna do football, I can see him maybe doing some acting, like on superhero movies, like kind of like the Venom movies or the Spider-Man or whatever the other superhero movies. Maybe he could play a role like that. Maybe he can play the Joker. Just saying, like it's like. But if we're going by another sport, I'll say pro wrestling, hands down.
Hey, Bashar, who are your top 5 legendary quarterbacks on the 49ers from number 5 to number 1?
Wow. Well, obviously Joe Montana, Steve Young. See, now after Montana and Young, then it gets tricky. Like, who do you really pick? Many would say I didn't watch this guy play. I just seen some highlights, but many would say John Brody. I have read up on what he's done. It was a completely different era, though. No quarterbacks would even dare dream of throwing 4,000 yards in the 4,000 yards in the season in the 70s. If somebody threw for 3,000 yards in the 70s, it was a major accomplishment. And just to give you an idea of what the game was like during the 70s, and that's when John Brody was our quarterback. So I'd say Montana, Young, Brody. Now, you know what? I watched Jeff Garcia. I think I'm not sure who had more playoff runs. Brody might have had more playoff runs than Garcia did. I kind of go by quarterbacks by their playoff runs, to be honest with you, and what they did in the postseason, because at the end of the day, it's all about going to the dance and doing something once you get to the postseason. So, yeah, those are definitely my top 5, though. Montana, Young, Brody, Jeff Garcia. Okay, there's one more. Is it Kaepernick or Garoppolo? I don't know. I might have to give the nod to Kaepernick because at least he played more games. He was more mobile. He had a better deep ball. But the problem was the good Kaepernick that was a sight to be seen. That was fun to watch. Existed for a good season and a half. But in general, he played more games than Jimmy. So in general, I'll give the nod to Kaepernick. But the ironic thing is, I mean, you kind of have Jimmy G, Colin Kaepernick, and Alex Smith. They're all kind of in the same bubble. They're all kind of in that same little bubble, but it's like pick your poison. But I'll definitely tell you this much: I think Trey Lance can circumvent and surpass those 3 guys. Almost, I want to say easily. That's how highly I think of Trey Lance and his ceiling. I think Trey Lance can bypass Brody. I think he can bypass Garcia. That's how highly I think of Trey Lance and his potential. Unmute yourself, Shardall.
Hey, CG, you know that intro video for CG Rootless Sports? Was that Bashar doing the commentary?
Yeah, that was Bashar.
That was you, but was that
it
you?
was
Bashar?
Tyrone Smith.
Bashar, you sound really cool on CG's intro video.
That's also my voice on the 49er minded intro too. It's my. If you ever listen to the 49er minded intro, it's also my voice.
But I love
the 49er minded.
But when you did it on CG's intro video, I really like it.
Which part did you like?
You sound badass when you say subscribe to CG. Remember that for CG Ruthless's sports intro video? That's your voice. You sound so dope on that when you did the.
Wait, which part? Where it has the deep voice?
Yeah, the deep voice. Remember you put the 49er plays in there in his
ruthless.
That part?
Yeah.
Or the part where you say you want to be brutally honest?
You want to be brutally honest?
Yeah.
Was that you?
But
that was me.
That was you. You sounded really cool on CG's intro.
Thanks,
video.
man. I didn't think it sounded that good. I don't know. Sometimes when I hear myself, I'm not really that impressed, but I try to make it sound good.
I'm impressed by it.
All right,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going by top 5 Niner quarterback Rushmores.
I watched that and I was impressed by it.
That's good. That's cool, man.
I watched it like over and over and over again.
Share it on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Show it to Grant Cohn.
Yeah. Hey, but
I made sure to put Grant Cohn on at the very end. You like how I put him on at the end?
Yeah, I might want to try to switch it up and put in those Niner players too at some point, but I'll wait on it slowly.
That might be a possibility. Yeah.
Okay, so if I had to go to quarterbacks of the Niners Mount Rushmore, all right. Well, Joe Montana he won championship after championship. Steve Young was the next one, of course. So that's a simple one. After those ones, you have to go a little more back. John Brody was kind of like the guy that kind of won games, but I think he was more of a game manager. But he did a good job. He played at a high level at the time where you put up those kind of numbers. Those were impressive. Then after that, you got this. Then number 4. Now you're going a little more way back, okay? Like Y.A. Tittle is another good quarterback from the time we had. He put on some good numbers, and he did take the team to the playoffs. People forget about Y.A. Tittle. It's another guy. And then if we're going to the other 5, okay, yeah, I did like Jeff Garcia too during that time, but if I had to be realistically, man, yeah, Garcia only had maybe about 2 playoff runs, and that was about it. But other than that, he did put on some good numbers.
Yeah. Well, there's also Frankie Albert. And there was also Frankie Albert too.
Yeah, Frankie Albert also. But I'm saying, like, in perspective stats, I can see why people would want to put Garcia a little bit over there. But I would still put Frankie. But I would say people forget about Y.A. Tittle too.
Yeah, the thing is, like with guys like Frankie Out and Wyatt Tittle, I didn't really have the. Obviously, I didn't have the opportunity to watch them, um, and really critique their games because it was a completely different era. There's not much film on them that's available. So it's kind of weird. I will say this though: the best backup quarterback. Well, Steve Young was a backup for Montana, but other than Steve Young, because Steve Young eventually became a starter Hall of Fame quarterback, but the best backup quarterback who took over as a starter, in my opinion, was Steve Bono. And you probably know who he is because Steve Bono was when he was Preston's a starting dude. He was pretty impressive. He could do a lot of different things, and he was actually pretty good starting quarterback on the Kansas City Chiefs once he left the 49ers. If you don't know who he is, look him up and check him out.
ACG. What were your thoughts of Steve Mariucci?
What was my thoughts of him? Well, he had a good coaching career with us for a while, but it kind of came to a point to where the front office was they wanted changes, and I think Mariucci wasn't the problem. I think it had to do with a lot of with the front office, and as soon as things started to change, it kind of like. But he was a winning coach in San Francisco, no doubt. But was he really like a tough nosed kind of coach, a guy that players wanted to play hard for? He was kind of like a jolly coach, like a lovable coach, very lovable coach that people wanted to play for. But was he the kind of coach that you would just say, you know what, F this guy, but I respect him type of guy? You don't want to be nice to everybody. Mariucci was the kind of guy that wanted to perfect everything, but he wasn't like the jerk type of coach that you want to play for. Like there's two different concepts of it.
As a fan, I loved Mariucci. Nicest guy, just always has a smile on his face. He had an excellent track record. If you look up his record of wins and losses, no, but look at his records of wins and losses in San Francisco. You'll be like, wow, that's impressive.
But he was fired. But he was fired, which was uncalled for. But I still
he was fired. I don't know. It was all politics when he was fired. That whole team imploded, and To for whatever reason played a part in it. For some weird reason, he didn't like Mariucci. I don't know why. I don't know who else didn't like Garcia. Him. Yeah, it was weird because had they patched things out, we could have definitely made a few more playoff runs and built around that core and that nucleus, and we may have, you never know, we may have stuck around and tried to win a Super Bowl. But it was very unfortunate when we broke up that team. That was very uncalled for. Garcia should have stayed there longer, and To, yeah, and Mariucci should have been there.
It could be just the same thing with Green Bay next year, bro. It can be the same effect because if you look at it, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, don't you think Devontae Adams and the rest of those other guys are going to leave Green Bay? If Rodgers is gone, that's a domino effect.
Oh yeah, I don't know why you're bringing them up, but yeah, sure, of course they would probably leave. Hey, I get what you're saying. You're trying to make a comparison. I get it.
Yeah, because I know it's a very similar because T.O. was a superstar and a prima donna, just like Aaron Rodgers is. Can you imagine it could be the same possibility for them? I mean, which would be a really good situation for us to let them suffer. But I can see it happen.
You mentioned this earlier, and I want to address it. I'm so sick of these weird, wishy-washy Niner homers that talk about trying to bring Aaron Rodgers in next year. First of all, they don't know that we don't
plan on bringing him.
We might be facing some cap issues next year, which is why we which is why we traded all those picks for a young quarterback on a rookie salary, and which is why we're getting rid of Jimmy. And we're gonna have some cap things that we're gonna have to clear out, which is why we're getting rid of Jimmy's salary next year. Hang on, and because of that, we are not the team that's gonna be going after Aaron Rodgers next year. I don't care. People are like, oh well, Aaron Rodgers only plays bad for Green Bay because he's not happy, and he's just if he goes to a team that he's happy, he'll start playing good again. Like, I don't want any of that. Aaron Rodgers is a prima donna. He thinks he's LeBron James, where he thinks he's the GM of the team. Like, we got Trey Lance coming up in the mix. Just strap on your seatbelts and get ready for the ride because Trey Lance is going to shake up the NFL. We don't need this Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, like this is what I'm saying, dude. I keep telling the fan base, bro. I don't even think we're going to ever get Aaron Rodgers, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. And I know some people may say, you're delusional. Stop sucking up to the front office BS shit. Well, we're sticking with Jimmy G for right now. Well, we did got our quarterback, Trey Lance. Here's what's going to happen. Here's the positive side. We're going to build around Trey Lance. We're probably going to give him some better offensive line, too. We're probably going to fix that position in the near future. And we're probably going to go aggressive and get cornerbacks in the near future because if we're going to have good edge rushers and good pass rushers, we got to have some damn good secondaries. I don't like this cheap ass BS crappy players that we picked up off the streets, man. I'm tired of those players. Those bums can't even cover to save their life, man.
Well,
Forget these
we
dumb.
had Verrett who was good, but he got hurt. But
Yeah,
we
and
need
that's
guys
what
who
I'm
are
saying. But
durable.
Verrett's good. Yeah, but Verrett's not durable, but he is good. But I'm tired of those bums, bro. Let those bums go. We can always find other ones to replace. Like Dante Johnson, get out of here, bro. Go work at Dollar Tree, damn it.
Are you saying you want Dante Johnson to be your coworker? Just kidding.
Nah, he looks
I know
like
what
he
you
should
mean.
be working at Dollar Tree right now.
I don't hate Dante Johnson. My thing is just that year in and year out, you have to get better as a football team, and you have to improve your depth. And like, come on, for the past 5 years, we haven't been able to improve that final quarterback position. That sounds pretty weak on that part. But
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
definitely
I
fix
gotta do
that.
a quick round check.
Okay, it's all good. I'm here, man.
All right, but I'm probably just gonna go on for 20 minutes before I close out. All right, let me go do something quick.
Shardal, you're muted. I can't be on much longer, Shardal, to be honest with you, but I'll be here for the time being.
It's there's something really funny that David McNew says Joe Montana the real GOAT. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre can't even hold Joe Montana's jockstrap.
I agree with him without a doubt. Brett Favre was good, but the most overrated thing about Brett Favre was that he'd throw a ton of interceptions, and yeah, Brett Favre would throw all these interceptions, and many times he would just throw up prayers where he wasn't even looking where he was throwing. He'd be in the pocket, he saw a rush coming, and he would just air it out with all his might, would not even glance at where he's throwing, and freaking just pray that Antonio Freeman or whoever else was there would make the catch.
So do you think Dante Johnson is a bum?
I mean, look, I played football in high school. It's extremely hard to make the NFL. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's almost to the point where it's impossible. You're talking about millions of high school football players all over the nation, and it's the best of the best who go and play college football. And then you got the best of college football out of millions of players, who are competing against each other to go to the NFL. And once you get to the NFL, you're again the best of the whole planet at playing this game. So sure, if you're like a bottom feeder, last guy on the 53-man roster, compared to Pro Bowl players, you may look like you suck or you may look like you're weak. But I wouldn't go as far as to call them a bum. I'm not about that because I played the game and I respect the game.
But do you think tomorrow's game is going to be pretty high a high energy game, full of energy?
I think the crowd's going to be full of energy. Whether the team is full of energy and whether they're ready is a question mark, but I don't count them out. I think the crowd's going to help them get pumped up. Fred Warner's a guy that goes into the huddle, and he's full of energy, and he's always pumping everybody else up if they're not pumped up already. George Kittle's full of energy. He gets everybody pumped up. He's a leader. So, our team should definitely be ready. It's just all a matter of whether Shanahan's ready. I don't want no BS play calls. I don't want it to be 3rd and 22 like it was in Detroit. And, hey, they put Trey Lance out there on a design quarterback run. I don't know what that's about. I don't care how much energy you have. If you have a ridiculous bonehead play call like that, you may give the other team an opportunity, a chance to win the game. Whereas we could have lost the Detroit game and we could have lost the Eagles game. I don't care what anybody says. Now, they're both road wins, and we're 2-0 to start, but we have to play smarter football, and we have to put teams away too. We can't rely on this whole thing of where, in Philly on the road, where they're only within 6 points of taking the game away from us. So, and we can have all the energy all we want, but Shanahan has to bring it with his play calling too, and D'Amico Ryans has to bring it with his schemes. Just a second.
Okay, here.
So CG, so my question is that do you think in this game, do you think 49er fans are going to bring out the energy?
Well, when you're 2-0 and you're coming to have a home opener, aren't you going to get pumped about it?
Yeah.
Your football team's 2-0. They haven't lost the season yet. Like, okay, even if we were 0-2, I'm pretty sure we'll get fired up too. But I'm just saying, when you're 2-0. Isn't that something to be excited about in the season opener? We're 2-0 on the road. We're coming home. That's something to get more excited about. But
Do the
despite the records, man, I can give a damn about what happens during the season, dude. I'm still gonna rep the red and go whether we do whatever. Doesn't matter.
do the 49ers have a chance to go 8-0 this season?
What do you mean?
8 and
What do you
0,
mean? Eight, oh,
undefeated.
8-0.
Win our first 8
8
games.
Win our
Well,
first eight
okay,
games.
okay. All right, let me give you let me look at the schedule prediction wise. Okay, the first 3 games seem very favorable because I mean I'm not getting too ahead, but you look at the teams like Detroit, which we already won, the Eagles we already beat, we got the Packers, so in that way it seems very favorable. But then after that you got the Seahawks and you got the Cardinals, so those are tough ones. Those are 50-50 right there. And using our division, it gets tougher. So to answer your question about going 8-0, I don't see it, bro. Just being realistic, I'm keeping it 100 with you. But if I could see maybe us going like 6-2 or maybe 7-1.
But
It's
you
like we
don't.
got a favorable schedule.
But you don't think we're gonna go 8-0?
Like okay, the first 3 games I can see it very favorable. First 3 games, it's very favorable for us to go. But after like week 4 and during that, it's gonna get tougher. So it's like I don't see it. I don't see us going 8-0, man. I'm sorry, man. I just don't know. I gotta
So
wait and see what happens.
you're trying. So what you're trying to say is that it's not probable that they would go 8-0.
Um, it's a possibility if we play good football, but the first 2 games we got to make adjustments. We got to play better. If we keep playing like that, I don't see us going 8-0. Just keeping it real with you. You know, we like okay. If our defense if our defense made those adjustments against Philadelphia, I want to see that against the Packers. I want to see the adjustment with coverage. I want to see the way we were doing it against the Eagles. Um, if our offense plays exactly like they did against the Detroit Lions, then hey, it's possible. But I'm just looking at it the way I look at it. You know, me and Bashar will just look at it realistically how we see it. You know.
I mean, so you're saying that if we play good football, if we play a great game of football, then there's probably a chance of 8-0, something like 8-0 happening.
Well, okay. The first 3 games you can say it's very favorable, but after that, it's a little bit of a gauntlet. So it's possible. Anything's possible, but it's just I don't see it. You know.
No,
You know what I
but
mean?
yeah, but for me, I would really like to see 8-0 because I would really like to see like that interview with Jimmy Garoppolo. Remember with that reporter
It
after
feels
they.
great, baby.
I would really, Bashar, would you really like to see that again? Remember Jimmy Garoppolo's video where he talked to Aaron Andrews and
I
said
remember that.
it feels
Yeah,
great, baby.
it
Would
feels
you
great,
really
baby.
would you want to see that again
It's not my
when they go
priority.
if they go 8-0?
I just Yeah, I don't think that interview is gonna happen again. But I just don't think we're going 8-0 again. How about that? We got to play the Chargers. No, sorry, not the Chargers. We got to play Seattle Seahawks, who are always a thorn in our side. And the way Jimmy plays lackluster with his mediocre performances, yeah, you can win against certain teams with the way he plays, and he can win you games in those scenarios. And the defense plays well, and the run game is good. I get it. Jimmy G can win games in those scenarios,
And
but
Arizona,
against the hang on,
and Arizona's got a good run defense.
but against these strong teams that are out there in the NFL, it's going to be hard to win games if Jimmy G's not throwing passes outside the hash marks. If he's not throwing passes on the outside or deep, and you're only just dinking and dunking, it's going to be hard to beat teams like Seattle. I'm sorry, it's not going to be easy. And you got to play Cardinals and Colts and whoever else, and it's just. If we're I'd be surprised, and I'll come on here and eat my crow. I'll go on my channel and eat my crow, even though I didn't necessarily say this on my show yet. But I'll eat my crow regardless.
Hey,
Dude, I'll even eat my crow in a minute. But realistically, I don't see us going 8-0. I mean, okay, we never had it comes down to Seattle, which we have not fared well against over the years. So it's going to be at Seattle, right? So that's going to be hard. Arizona, I think we're going to play at the Cardinals at some point. So that's going to be tough because Arizona gives us a lot of problems. And their run defense, they did a pretty good job. Like, if you look at the way they play, they stop Derrick Henry. They limit Derrick Henry pretty well. Then they stop Dalvin Cook a little bit, or I think they stopped Dalvin Cook in some capacity. I mean, like in some ways. But if they were to match up against any of our running backs, I don't know. I think they might give us some problems, and that's where we might have to force Jimmy to throw the ball more, and that's not going to look good, you know.
So CG, so my thing is, I was trying to say is that if we play like teams like Seattle, the 49ers shouldn't be scared of Seattle. They should face up to their fears, play Seattle. Don't be afraid, because that's the motto, right? Don't be afraid of whoever teams you play, right? Just face up to them, play them really hard, and just don't worry about the result. Just play your game of football. That's it.
Well, okay. See what Jesse's saying right there. It's true. We haven't played our best yet. So it's like, yeah, 2-0 is great, but if you look at the first two games, like Bashar just said, it seemed like the way we just lost the game. Like, we could play better than that. Seattle gives us problems because they know how to out scheme us a little bit. They know how to out coach us in a lot of different ways, and Shanahan doesn't know how to okay. Seattle's got a terrible defense when it comes to pass defense, but we can get all the yards all we want. But if Seattle can stop us, then we're screwed, you know.
So David McNew made a comment. He said Cardinals are Jekyll and Hyde. Depends on which one shows up. Time to expose the sea chicken's weaknesses.
Yeah, everybody knows this. Everybody knows Seattle's defense is trash, man. Nobody's surprised. It's just Russell Wilson. You got to stop him. That's it.
Yeah.
If you stop that guy, that's it.
Seattle's defense was trash last year, and everybody exposed him last year. But Jimmy was same old Jimmy. He started getting scared and started playing weak, and we didn't take advantage of it last year. Even though it's just that weird thing how Seattle's always that thorn in our side, and it doesn't help when you have a scared quarterback. That's why I'm a Trey guy. I mean, sure, Jimmy G's a decent NFL quarterback. I ranked him as a 23rd best NFL quarterback compared to all 32 starters. But I'll see what he does this year. And if he's stuck as a starter because he makes $27 million and we're forced to start him, so be it. But he has to step up to the plate. Then if he's making all that money and he's thrusted into the starting lineup, he's got to show improvement. It's pretty sad and pretty disgraceful that we have a quarterback at times who plays scared, and it frustrates me. And I do agree with what David said. The Cardinals are a Jekyll and Hyde type team. And David also said earlier that Joe Montana did not start his rookie season. He played here and there because Steve DeBerg was our starting quarterback. He was kind of like a Jimmy G steady quarterback kind of guy. And then Trey Lance, he said Trey Lance is going to get in here and there too. That's what we thought, but so far we haven't seen him other than week 1. So hopefully we do see him. We need to see Trey Lance in there. If we get the ball on the 20-yard line, we start off on a drive. Put Trey Lance in there. Let Trey Lance start off a certain drive from time to time. Why not?
Yeah.
We traded up all these picks to get him. We got to have him on the field. We got to develop him. And, it's like he had a year off of football. So he's the future anyway. So just invest that time and have him out there.
But here's the thing. Like, since we didn't do it against the Eagles, I think this is why Shanahan didn't play him against the Eagles, because that defense was really going to get to him. And I think if we just play it, build Trey Lance against a sorry defense, like the Packers, for example. You could really do those run plays, right? And Packers can't stop the outside run, bro. They're really they're terrible in the middle against the run. So I think this is where you will expect Trey Lance to play, especially in those package plays where he's going to run the ball. And maybe if you put him in, like you said, the 20-yard lane, maybe he'll run you a 20-yard touchdown run, or maybe throw you a nice, decent pass to the receiver for a touchdown. You're probably going to see some of those Trey Lance plays. Like, I know a lot of people hated that idea that he would be a Taysom Hill package, bro. I already said that it would be a possibility because they're going to have to get this guy into the flow of the NFL level. So it's not, and let's make it pretty clear. He's not going to be the next Taysom Hill. He's going to be better than Taysom Hill. I'm just saying you want to put him in a package play to build up his confidence a little bit more.
Never make that comparison from Trey to Taysom Hill. He's going to be way better than Trey to Taysom Hill. Not even close.
No. Yeah. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the comparison. I'm just saying that people kind of assume that I am. But no. Like, you want to build up you want to have your quarterback have some feel of the game a little more. Like, I didn't even say there was no comparison. I'm just saying that they're putting him in that. Like, I remember some people were pissed off and say, "Oh, don't compare him to that." And I said, "No, you don't get it. They're going to put him in package plays and build him up a little bit.
But my thing is, the only way you're really going to develop him is have him start a drive from the beginning to the end of the drive, and that's it. Every now and then, if you put him in, if we get to the red zone and all of a sudden we're at the 20-yard line or 30-yard line or whatever, and we throw Trey Lance in there and say, hey, finish off the drive. Okay, I'm fine with that. But not this BS where it's 3rd and 22 and we're doing a damn stupid design run on a 3rd and 22. If it's 3rd and 22 and you're putting Trey Lance out there, freaking air it out, dude.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, so he can throw that deep ball and gamble it. But since the Packers are terrible against the run, dude, you will expect Trey Lance to at least get some run plays out of these package plays. Just saying.
Hey, CG, do you agree with David's comment? I think Kyle will get Trey Lance in the game tomorrow night, hopefully for a full drive or two.
No, I see him playing for sure, but I don't think he's going to get into full plays, bro. I think the only chance you're going to get him to play some full play drives is if we blow the brakes out of Green Bay and he comes in to play the full drives. Then that's different, but no. I see it more like in the goal line situation. Like, let's say we're at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal at the 5. You're going to want to put Trey in this kind of play, right? So there's a chance where Trey hikes the ball, and if he sees something like open on the holes, he'll probably run in for a touchdown. Or if he sees like Trent Sherfield or Kiddo or some other receivers open, he'll probably just throw it to them. And that would be smart.
So CG, my question to you is that do you think Trey Lance will be much better than Lamar Jackson?
Dude, that's too much of a comparison. Like, I know a lot of people keep saying that, but Lamar is an exceptionally great quarterback. It's just the arm, the accuracy needs to improve better. That's the only thing. He's like the new Michael Vick, but Trey Lance is going to be more than that. He's going to be more of a complete pocket passer compared to Lamar Jackson. But when people put the comparison, that's kind of an insult to even put it out there. I think that when you look at it this way, Lamar Jackson is a generational talent compared to the other quarterbacks, but he's like the newer Michael Vick. Trey Lance can be like the newer Aaron Rodgers, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, I definitely see a much higher ceiling for Trey than Lamar Jackson. It's not even close. To me, Lamar Jackson is almost just a running back playing quarterback. Every now and then he looks like a quarterback. Don't get me wrong; he's got something. It is similar to Michael Vick. I do agree in that regard. But he's almost more of a running back than Michael Vick was. It's because towards the end of Michael Vick's career, he looked like he could just sit in the pocket and throw. When he was on Philly, he looked pretty good as just being a quarterback. So Lamar Jackson, he's all right. He's good, but I think Trey can be so much better than that. I think Trey can be closer to Mahomes.
Yeah, but we're comparing differences. Like, Lamar's more of a running quarterback, but he can really throw the ball too. But I kind of always tell him, like, dude, this is the new Michael Vick, bro. Come on, no offense, but he is the new Michael Vick. Trey Lance can maybe be the new Aaron Rodgers. I'm hoping he could be, because Rodgers could move on out of the pocket too.
I'm thinking, when I watched Trey Lance's and stuff in college, I thought a 6'4", 6'5", 230-pound version of a Russell Wilson. Maybe you could say a Russell Wilson / Mahomes hybrid. So I kind of see like that.
Russell Wilson, I could see that. I could see a bigger version of Russell Wilson.
That's how I see it. I think he can run exceptionally well. He kind of runs like McNabb did in college. Because McNabb would just not McNabb. What's his name? Who was that guy that played on the Vikings? Why am I forgetting? Dante Culpepper. Culpepper in college. In the NFL, he was running through people. He was a huge tight end sized quarterback. And in college, Lance was running over people. But we're not going to have Lance try to run over people. But the good thing about Lance is he knows how to make people miss. He's not the fastest QB there is. He's pretty fast for a QB, but he's not the fastest. Like Fields ran a 4.4 flat, but Lance will make you miss. So he doesn't have to run people over, but he'll definitely make you miss.
Hey, CG, what are your thoughts of Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson, man, he's really a good quarterback. It's just he's been owning this for quite some time. It's time for us to finally beat him a lot of times for once.
So for Pete Carroll, do you think he's a better head coach on the Seahawks or when he was coaching USC?
Well, okay. See, that's a very good debate there, but You can make an argument that it's 50-50 because in his USC coaching days, he did win national championship. He did help that program become very good, but it was very controversial. Like when I say controversial, it kind of tarnished a little bit of his legacy a little bit because of what happened. You know what happened with the Heisman Trophy winner and all the other stuff. So I would put him with Seattle because it didn't tarnish his legacy there. So I mean, I'm just going by what I see, but he was really good at USC, but it became controversial.
So another kind of controversial issue that I would like to bring up was how did USC feel when they fired Clay Helton from his head coaching position?
A lot of USC fans were relieved by it too. Like Tommy was relieved by it. A lot of them just didn't like that coach.
Would
But
you say that Clay Helton wasn't a really great head coach?
maybe more as a play caller, but he wasn't really much of a good head coach to begin with. Maybe there's just difference between being a play caller like a coordinator than being an actual coach.
If I was because San Jose State played USC it was like pretty recent. And if I went to that game, I would be I would be cursing out Clay Helton like you're the worst head coach. We don't want you here. You suck. I would be like, getting hella pissed off at Clay Helton if I was like attending the game. If I was
Well,
attending
he
a
beat
USC
you
game,
guys. He beat you.
but I don't like him because he beat our team. That's why I don't like him, and that's why That's why I'm happy that they got him. They took him out of USC.
The best part
I
about
can't stand
Clay
USC.
Helford,
But
the
he
best
took,
part
but
about Clay Helford is that he actually beat the San Jose State, and then after that he got fired after the Stanford game. Like, how do you
Hey,
get fired after a win over the San Jose State?
I have to get
so
going, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
get going too, bro. I gotta get going after this. But hey, good stream, Shardo. My bad if
hey,
I came a little late, man.
oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Hey,
um,
Bashar, it was really nice for you to come on the stream, and it was really great for CG to join as well. I was like CG whenever I was watch his stream, so it's really nice for him to hop onto my stream.
Yeah, I'm just taking a
'Cause
little break, man. I'm
I
only
love
I'm only doing like short streams.
Yeah, I really like that you're hopping onto my stream, but Bashar, I'm probably gonna get ready to end the stream now, but it was really great having you both on the stream, and
okay.
CG, and I can't wait to do the 49ers post game show with you tomorrow.
Oh, you said 8 o'clock, right? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
And let me add something. So on my channel on Tuesday, my channel is 49er Minded. I'm going to have very special guest former 49ers linebacker Jamie Wimborne is going to make a guest appearance at 6 p.m. on Tuesday on my channel. So for those who are on 49er Minded YouTube channel, subscribe to 49er Minded YouTube channel, hit that bell notification. 6 p.m. Tuesday night, Pacific Standard Time, we're going to have Jamie Wimborne, former 49ers linebacker. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be
ACG,
interesting.
there's one more question that came in from David. He said Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback. Pete Carroll is losing his touch. I think the bad call in the Super Bowl against the Patriots killed his confidence on game-winning decisions.
Um, it's got a lot to do with his play callers because he just makes sure the team's in position. Pete Carroll's mostly a defensive minded coach. So like when you look at Pete Carroll's resume, you don't think of him as an offensive person. He's more of a defensive minded guy. So like when Pete Carroll was coaching, he was our defensive line coach too. You didn't know about that? Pete Carroll
I,
was the Niners defensive line coach.
I didn't know that.
He was our
He was a
DC for
defensive
1 year.
coordinator. He was a D coordinator.
No, wait, he actually coached both positions, the defensive line coach and the DC, bro. In 95, I believe. 1995. Bashar, you're muted, dude.
Hey, Bashar, I think you're muted again.
I said I'll look that. Let me check that out. I remember he was a defensive coordinator without a doubt. I don't remember him being a D line coach though.
But I think he had both titles.
I don't remember that at all. Let me double check.
Hey.
Hang on. That's surprising me. I'll double check. No, 95, 96 defensive coordinator, bro.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought it was.
He was never D line
too.
coach. Yeah, he was a
Okay.
DB coach. If anything, if he ever did coach positions, he was mainly a DB coach throughout his career. Yeah, that I do know.
He was mostly a defensive coach.
Yeah,
So,
a defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach, but he never coached D line. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go. Just Merry catch me and JB Winborg 49er Minded on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Peace. Thank you, Chardal.
all right.
See you, CG.
All right, catch up.
And watch
bro.
Keith Lewis on CG's channel.
Hey, see you, Bashar.
Yeah.
See you, CG.
All right, let me give your audience something. Check out CG Ruthless Sports, man. If you want brutally honest, you come to my channel. Or not, I'm gonna go look for you. All right,
Hey,
bro.
CG, it was really great coming for you to come on my channel. It's all right if you join a little bit late. I let people. The good thing about me is I have no problem people joining late on my stream. I'm a very flexible type of guy. I don't have a problem with anybody joining late. So you don't no hard feelings, man. It's okay if you join late.
Yeah.
Man,
No problem,
I don't,
man.
no hard feelings, man. I'm a really easygoing type of guy. So
Yeah, well, I'll go down your post game show. Just send me the link on the day, then I'll just jump in, and then you could just have that quick interview with me with that. It's cool.
okay. Hey, see ya, CG.
All right, champ. See you later.
See ya. Peace.